All right.
All right,
This is our
3
first live
seconds.
for the new year. We got Trina Roberts with a Veg in the Burg. We're going to learn a lot about this organization and what they're doing to improve the health of their community. What I'm hoping is that we can be inspired this year to make a difference, not just for ourselves, but for our communities, right? Because Trina, I know you would agree, our communities are dying for, as the Bible says, for lack of knowledge, right? Um, and when you have an
Right.
opportunity to do good, not just for yourself but for others, we got to take it, right? We got to use it. So we're going to go into your story, Trina Roberts. Thank you so much for this chance, for letting me have you on our live show, the first of the year, so you should be honored for coming on and talking with us and sharing
Thank
about.
you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. I should also say that there is a delay. So you guys who are watching, you'll be patient with us. There's a delay on our conversation. So Trina will be hearing me right a little later, and there might be a few seconds before we hear her response. Okay. So the glory of internet, right? It doesn't always cooperate. Um, so
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we're gonna pace ourselves, right? So I thank you so much for watching, for your patience, right? If you have questions, of course, post them in the chat. We'd love to hear if you have questions to myself or Trina. Um, so of course, Trina, we're going to give you a chance to tell us who you are and what inspired you, and what the work you do. Many of our viewers may already know me, but maybe if we have any first time viewers, I'd love to know. Let me know in the chat if you're a first time viewer, who you are, what your name is, where you're watching from. Of course, our longtime viewers, we love to get greetings from you guys too. I always like to know who's watching. We broadcast on several platforms, so not everybody's going to see responses, but Trina and I can see your responses and your replies and your comments. So don't be shy if you have questions, comments throughout our live. If you are new to our channel, my name is Louis Bertis. I am a physician assistant in diabetes reversal health coach. So we're going to give you a great opportunity at the end of the show to take advantage of a free workshop on diabetes reversal. So you don't want to miss that. Jackson Old Roblox says hi guys. So Jackson, thanks for being the first one to greet us. And there we go. I did warn us that we might have some internet connection issues on Trina's end. So we're just gonna give her a time to join back on, and that might happen. All right. Oh, your video looks a little crisper. I don't know.
Something just happened.
All right, so all right. Okay, so yeah, we warned everybody, Trina, that there's going to be 5 second
Yeah.
or so delay.
Can you? Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna give you the mic now. Okay, Trina, can you tell us first off what inspired you, okay, to start this community-based program, Veg in the Burg, to improve the health of the people in your community?
Long story short, for years, I have been exposed to a lot of things that was not supportive of health for myself, for my family. Um, I was in a financial industry that created a lot of excitement in my life, and trying to navigate how to balance that excitement was challenging. So I started doing a little research, a lot of learning, and I came to understand that a lot of the things that I needed to support my body and the excitement that my career was giving me was a lot to do with the food that I was eating. So I was introduced to a movie, a documentary that led me down a rabbit hole. And what I came to understand is like I was saying a few seconds ago, that is really about the food. And then I recognized that if it was affecting me, it was probably affecting a whole lot of people, and people did not know. So fast forward, I'm in Virginia. And so every year there's a Veg Fest that's probably about 20 minutes from us. Every year we've gone, we've supported it, and we love it. We have an amazing time. But then we come back home. And then I recognize that we don't have that in my community. And so when we have our businesses, we're in Petersburg. Petersburg has been considered the unhealthiest city in the state of Virginia for almost 10 years, probably a little bit longer. And so it just kind of made sense that we are the unhealthiest city, and it's because we just don't have the information that we need. So we travel everywhere else to get what we need, but we needed something here. My businesses are here. Me and my husband, our clients are here. So there was no connection. So a friend of ours said, well, we wanted her to bring the Veg Fest down to this area. And she said, well, that's not my neck of the woods. You live there, you work there, you do it, and I'll support you. And so we just sat down and we said, okay, let's do it. And then we started the city. We actually put on the city's first Veg Fest. And it was amazing. The feedback that we got was that the community really needed the experience, but then they wanted us to kind of do it like every month, which was not going to be possible. So in our Veg Fest, we had people that were selling stuff, but it was really education, right? So we had people that was talking about a healthier lifestyle. And where it was a vegan fest, I did not want people to think that we were going to have they were going to have an experience where we were talking about what's happening with the animals, because not everybody is there. And so it was really about just looking at your food differently, paying attention to what you were eating. And I wanted it to go around that way, right? Yeah. So listening to them saying, hey, can you do this every month? We're like, no, we can't. I wanted to dissect it. So what I said, well, what we'll do is maybe every quarter we'll have something where it's going to be plant-based driven, so that we can help people make the changes in bite-sized pieces that could make a difference in their life. So we had the Veg Fest, and then a few months later, we did a cooking class. And it was an opportunity for us to show people how to cook the food that we exposed them to at the Veg Fest. And it was amazing. It was a fun time. People learned a lot of things. And it was just that eye-opening experience that people don't do it because they don't know how to cook it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were like, so where do we go from here? And then I was like, you know what? Let's continue, because we're considered to be in a food desert. And so if we don't know what food to eat and we don't know how to cook it, then how in the world are we supposed to know where to buy it? Right. And some of the participants in the class, it was eye-opening. Like we did roasted cauliflower, and I kind of taught them how to cook kale, with your hands. And it was one of those things as, where in the world do you buy this? Like, where can you get it? So it was like, okay, so if people don't know where to buy it, then let's just make this next experience a shopping class. So our city only have one grocery store, and that's Food Lion. There's a farmer's market that's open every Saturday, but some people can't get to the farmer's market on a Saturday because they're at work. So Food Lion technically is the only true grocery store. There's a Walmart, but nobody really gets food from Walmart. So I said, well, I reached out to the manager of the store and I said, hey, look, this is what I'm trying to do. I want to bring a group of people in, and we're just going to spend some time walking the grocery store. We're going to spend a lot of time in the produce because we want to show people that this is where you need to get your food from. And then we're just going to kind of walk them through the store for a few hours. And he was like, sure, why not? And
Wow.
so that's
I like
a few
that.
months later, that's what we did. We put together another event, and we took about 20 people through Food Lion. And we talked about the food. We gave them recipes. During the registration, I asked them to tell us their favorite food so that we can veganize it. And, when you think about changing your diet, most people say, well, I don't know how to eat vegetables, or I love my meat, I love my cheese, I love this, I love my milk. Just to know that you can make some small adjustments to what you are used to eating, and using fruits and vegetables, then, why not try it? So it was one of those experiences where it went from, first of all, showing you about it, then teaching you how to cook it, and then dialing it back a little bit more to show you where you can get it from. And then
Wow.
that was how Veg in the Burg really just took off. It went from being a veg fest to a plant-based movement.
Wow.
And
I
then
love it.
everyone was like, okay, well, you got to do this again. So just seeing the impact and people reaching out, it was one of those aha moments, like we've needed it all along, but we didn't have it. So we just needed to do it.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so then we roll out again with the second year of the Veg Fest. We did the cooking class the second year. We have not put together a plan to do the shopping trip just yet, but
Mhm.
that could be something that we will look into doing. But
Yeah.
this time, maybe tweaking it a little bit and actually taking them to the farmer's market, because a lot of people don't know anything about a farmer's market.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people don't. Yeah.
And that's how Veg in the Burg took off.
Wow, man. So Petersburg, you would say the most unhealthy city or county? Is it a city?
Unhealthiest. It's
Unhealthiest
unhealthiest city. City.
city
It's a city
in all of
in the
Virginia.
state of Virginia.
Wow. And it's amazing how one person can make such a big impact. A lot of us, I think we underestimate the power of one. And what you said, what was the industry you were in? If you don't mind me asking.
It was more than one.
Okay.
I I was in the financial industry.
Okay. And are you still involved
I
in it,
was
or
I
do
was
you
in big bank.
big bank? Okay. And my understanding is that you quit your job, right?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah. My understanding is that you quit your job.
I after 23 years, I retired. Yes. After 23 years, I retired. So I started a wellness company while I was still working, because it was really about trying to find a way to just have a conversation with my people. And so I went to school, did got some credentials, became a consultant. I'm an herbal consultant. And so I decided that, hey, if I got to be behind these walls, I got to find some way to have a conversation about some herbs. And herbalism is something that is in my family, has been for a while. We just never really tapped into the potential until my mom passed away from cancer. And that's kind of when it just kind of threw me a
Wow.
little bit deeper into
Yeah.
trying to find a way to take back control of my health, as well as anyone who is willing to go along the journey with me. And
Mhm.
so I was working full time for a bank and running my business part time. But then it got to the point where my clients was messaging me while I was at work, asking me questions. My husband, who was at the business, running the business, because he's a massage therapist, he's messaging me like, hey, such and such needs this, and how do we do this, and what can we do? And so it became where my door was closed most of the time, and I couldn't make an impact the way that I wanted to. COVID started coming around, so I said, well, what better time than now to then commit to what I started out to do? So I said 23 years is enough. And
Yes,
I
sir.
allowed that opportunity to financially support the vision that I had for my community.
Yeah.
And
I-
I went on full time on my own vision.
That's such a powerful testimony. I hope to us all that you got to follow your heart. You got to follow your heart. If you feel convicted on something, especially when you know it's going to be for the good of our communities, follow it. Follow it. Sometimes I'm sure you were afraid, right? It's probably a scary thing to leave something that's secure, right? To follow your passion and your dream, but you did it, and look what you've done. I want anyone who's
I
watching,
had
if you
to
got
I had to
questions,
change my mindset.
yeah. Sorry, go ahead. You said you had to change your mindset.
I did. Because it was frightening. Like, this was my salary, and now I'm about to step away from that security to the unknown. So it took me a minute, but what I had to do is reprogram my mind to say that they were my investor into my company, into my wellness company. And so when I went in there with the thought that I am grateful for this opportunity that this company has given me. They are fueling my ability to show up for me and to show up for my community. But it was a little frightening. Yeah, there was a lot of excitement taking place in my body, but I
Yeah.
did it.
You're doing it. You're doing it. Um, I wanted to share some comments from JJ, one of
Yeah,
our favorite guests. Though she says those aha moments are so priceless. I mean, I think that's so true. You don't get those aha moments until you step out in faith. She says, I have been afraid, but after hearing you, I feel convicted. So that's awesome, man. We want to convict people today. I believe that God has placed a burden on a lot of our hearts that fear sometimes drives away, but we got to chase our dreams, especially when they're for the good of the community.
yeah.
So, can you mind sharing? I'm sure you got some testimonies, some people who've been affected. This is your second year, right? So, and you've done great things already. I love the idea of taking people to shop, and show them how to shop, and where to find healthy produce, healthy food, and how to put together. Then you go the extra mile and showing people how to put together a healthy meal. Trina, you're doing above and beyond. So what are some testimonies that you can share of people who've been affected?
I have one personal uh, testimony. My husband, asthmatic for all his life. And when I started shifting, like when I just said, I watched the documentary and I said, yep, I'm going vegetarian. And he was like, what? Like, who's supposed to cook for me? Like, what's supposed to happen? I was like, well, you're just going to eat what I eat. And, he was still consuming animal products. And then we were sitting in a restaurant and I had a veggie lasagna. And as I'm sitting there eating my veggie lasagna, enjoying the cheese, the light bulb said, yeah, I don't think you really should be eating this either. And so I went vegan. I was like, I'm done. And
Okay.
so what I noticed for me, my energy levels improved. My thoughts were clearer. I did not have that excitement that was showing up in my body that resembled hypertension. I didn't have that. My sleep was better. But with my husband, he, again, asthmatic all his life. After about maybe 2 years of just us making some adjustments, removing dairy, he is no longer an asthmatic. And we are in year 2025. And I believe the last time he had a need for his inhaler was 2013.
Wow.
And so, like, never look back. And so that's one that I can share. Since we've had the Veg Fest, so I've had quite a few people that have reached out and they have noticed that just by removing some of the things that we call food, even just for 2 weeks, that they have noticed skin improvement.
All right, we're gonna invite her back because she was on a roll there. As I warned you guys, this might have some problem with internet connection on Trina's end, so I appreciate your patience. Hope you guys can stay tuned as we wait for her to jump in. But I like to encourage questions. So if you guys have questions about how we can affect our community, because I hope that you guys are watching with that end goal, that you want to know how to create a better healthy community. Trina can be a great resource. Obviously, take in just what she shared already. There's some ideas I'm hope is brewing in your mind. I don't know if how many people have been to vegan festivals, or veg fest is what they're called. You let me know if you haven't, you don't know what that is. But vegan festivals are great. A lot of them are closer than you think. That obviously bigger cities are going to have them, but taking family and friends to these events is huge, because telling someone to eat healthy is one thing, but letting them taste and see that is good. Like that's one of my favorite Bible verses: taste and see that the Lord is good. You can really convince a lot of people. All right, yeah, she's back. Okay. All right, you with us, Trina?
I can hear you, but I'm no longer visible.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you and I can see you. Our viewers who are watching, please let us know if you're not able to see Trina. I can see you.
Okay. I can see you now.
Okay. So what were you saying before you dropped off?
I don't remember. I don't know what part I got dropped off on.
I think we were, I don't know if anyone could remind us, because then I started going off on another tangent. So I think we were talking about testimonials and people who were telling you about how their lives were changed, skin changes, just from making little changes in their diet they were experiencing.
Did you hear
Yeah. Say that again.
Was I audible during the part where did you catch the part where I was sharing how one of our attendees at our weekly health and wellness classes mentioned that he had lost 15 pounds since our cooking class?
Okay, no, we didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. So that's awesome. Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And Desi Thomas mentioned about your husband having asthma. You were talking about that too, which is huge. I mean, a condition that's supposed to be irreversible, right? And that's what I love when it's so sad that me as a physician, I could attest that we are told about, all these conditions have no remedy, no cure, right? You're going to have them forever. But unfortunately, we're sitting on tens of thousands of studies that prove otherwise, but we're not told because it don't make money. Don't get me on this tangent now. But yeah, it's
So I was about to say, you know what, we can go into a whole conversation on that. We can go into a whole conversation about that.
There's no money in cure. But what I want to ask you this. What was the documentary you watched? You said you watched?
Meet Your Meat. It's like 20 minutes.
Okay.
I saw it on YouTube.
Meet Your Meat. Okay.
And it's called Meet Your Meat and Meet Your Meat. And we watched it. So I have Chihuahuas. At this time, we had 3 Chihuahuas. And so I'm watching this documentary as my Chihuahuas are walking through the house. And it was like, in another country, somebody is eating my pets, and now I'm eating their pets. Like, it didn't make sense. So, like, I was a little upset, and I was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
But like I said, that was the first documentary. And then it was probably about 3 or 4 others because YouTube said, okay, you like this? Let me send you some more.
More.
And
Yeah.
so I think I ended up watching Earthlings, and that was quite a few that I was like, okay, so it really opened my eyes up to the way that we treat animals. But if you look back, they eat, they sleep, like they do the same things that we do, right? We're animals, technically we're not, but we have that same sentient experience. Like we are alive, and we have to be mindful of the way that we treat ourselves. Like we wouldn't treat our animals like that. So why are we treating ourselves like that? Why are we subjecting ourselves to crap, to torture? Like it doesn't make sense.
Yes.
So yeah, that was my first documentary that really was that punch in the throat.
You mean, okay, so I'm encouraged to watch that. There's so many good reasons, the health reasons, the societal reasons, the environmental reasons, right? When you look at the ethics of an animal industry, so many reasons, and there's so many good documentaries. One I love is Forks Over Knives. That's probably the first one I've seen. Game Changers I think is on Netflix. Still is,
Yeah.
but so much to inspire us and to encourage us. But
Yeah,
Trina,
that's a good one.
I love what you've done. We're gonna wrap up in a few minutes, but I want to highlight, Trina, that like you could have just did veg fests, like everyone does veg fests. And for those who don't know what veg fests are, it's basically where people organizations invite vendors, right? People who have vegan products, vegan food, to sell their product, to showcase their arts, and invite the community to partake. But Trina has gone the extra mile in providing cooking classes, which is something we can do in our communities. Through a great way to do is through churches. A lot of people of us who are going to church can use our local churches to advertise cooking classes. I know a great community that's doing that in several places. One in West Virginia, and they have amazing testimonies of people reversing their cancer from coming to these cooking classes. You've gone beyond, and Trina, please continue. Your Veg Fest, I must say, I've been to a lot of Veg Fests. Your Veg Fest was the best because you don't just give people opportunity to buy vegan stuff. You give them opportunity to learn, to educate them, right? And that's different. And that's a lot different than you. I mean, a lot of Veg Fests do it, but you emphasize it. You give them center stage, the opportunity to teach people how to live healthfully and extend their life. So God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to give people opportunity to know where to follow you on Instagram. So I'm gonna go ahead and post your Instagram link in the chat and your website as well. Also, Coach JJ had a comment I need to read too. She always got some insightful things to say. So she says, community support needs to have several pinpoints. Gotta normalize this. I just hosted a kid at my house, and he had never tasted spaghetti that was made fresh. He tasted mine and asked for second helpings. Aside from butter, it was all plant-based. Meanwhile, when I observed him at his house, he was making a sandwich from white bread, cake frosting, and grape jelly. I about fell over. When he stayed with me today, he got pineapple, tomatoes, leftover beans, and rice. I'm sure he enjoyed that. It's sad, but you experience this, Trina. So many of us in our community don't know what healthy food looks like. We've been eating processed junk all our life. We don't know what does a healthy meal look like? Can you make spaghetti without meat? Like, is that possible? Yeah. So I hope you guys, yeah, and Trina says that's a great idea. I mean, Trina, JJ says, I'm gonna look at doing cooking classes locally at our churches. So yeah, that's awesome. I'm sure we reach somebody who's gonna do good because of you. All right. So
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead
And this is the thing. This is the note I'll go by, because a lot of people, when they say, "Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
Are you still there?"
Yep.
Okay. Tidbit, and this is something
She's gonna come back. Don't worry, guys. But while we wait, go ahead and check the chat right now. We have our Instagram and the website for Veg in the Burg. I just hope that you could look at this to be inspired and ask yourself, how can I improve not just my own health, but the health of my community? All right. I believe there's a lot we can do. There's organizations that we can support, even if we don't have the time, the resources to do what she did. There are organizations that are doing great things that we can join, right? So this is her Instagram that we're showing here, and you'll find the link in the chat. And this is her website, yourpartnersinwellness.org. So definitely follow there. Yep. You're back.
I'm back.
All right. I was just sharing how they can follow you. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So we try to keep our lives around 30 minutes. We're probably at that time where we could probably keep on talking. I know, and we got viewers that probably will keep on listening. Trina, I want to keep following you and seeing what the good you're doing and being a part of your movement. I think I'm about just an hour or less than an hour from you. So we're going to continue working together for sure. And thank you for the opportunities to work with your company. I really love that.
Absolutely.
So now at this time, guys, I want to turn to what we have for you.
I would love for you to come and join us for our...
Wait, the last part cut off. Say that again.
I want you to come and be a presenter at this year's Veg Fest, June the 7th, if you are available. We can talk more offline.
Yeah, let's talk about it. I think I'll definitely set.
But I want you to come back this year, but be a presenter.
Okay, awesome. Okay. Awesome. We'll talk about that for sure. So guys, right now I want to remind us all that we have our free workshop for anyone who's struggling with diabetes and is looking to reverse their diabetes. I have the QR code there in the chat. I'm gonna go ahead and also post the the link in the comment section, because I know not everyone can use a QR code. So go ahead and check the comment section for the sign up sheet. So basically what you guys want to do is click the link. It'll take you to a landing page where you enter your email, and you'll get updates on when it's happening, and also be able to sign up for the event. It's absolutely free. 3 days intensive. You'll walk away with resources to reverse your diabetes for absolutely free. Did I say free? Okay. All right. So make sure you take advantage of that right there. Okay. The link is in the comment section. You do not want to miss out on that. If you know anybody who has diabetes, who needs to show up to this event, who needs this link, then copy the link in the comment section and send it to them. Okay. Or if you know their email, enter the email, and they'll start getting reminders. The dates are right there, January 27th to 29th. Okay, that's when we'll have the event online. It's all virtual. Okay, everything you get will be virtual, so everyone can attend as long as you got a Wi-Fi connection. All right. So, man, this is good. This is a good talk, Trina. So, we made it work even with the delay. This is pretty cool. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I love it.
I'm telling you, God always works it out. All right. So beloved, as always, my the catchphrase, I pray above all things that you may prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. We will see you next week, same time. All right, you guys have a good night.